uh, we had told you to just review any of your one project or whatever project which you feel like, compare it for the simplicity and complexity in architecture. So have you given a thought, anybody? Have you ever thought of reviewing your design for simplicity and complexity? No? Okay. Because it was not a formal assignment. Okay. No issues. You will get time to review your design in many different parameters. Okay. So we'll begin with the next presentation because we have a very less time. Okay. So the next thing which we are going to review or look upon is this. Okay. As you already have a teaching plan, in the teaching plan we have already mentioned. So this become a very it's actually a continuation from what we have ended as the simplicity and complexity. So we discussed that simplicity and complexity in architecture in the form of as a totality. So this is now we are going very specific related to the one of the element and how that one element have triggered so many fundamental questions which we can uh, synthesize upon, and also as a new generation of architect, as a contemporary architect, what we could think of in terms of ornamentation. Okay, ornamentation in architecture. Okay, because we are not only looking at ornamentation and non-ornamentation, we are looking at ornament and austerity. So what is austerity? Is a difficult economic conditions created by government policies aim at cutting public spending. Okay, war was followed by many years of austerity. Okay, austerity measures and economic uh, reform. So this is something which is the forceful or unforceful implementation of what uh, government or ruler of that particular era have created in terms of architecture. So it is fundamentally related to the policies, infrastructure policies which have been implemented or will be implemented, और उसके वजह से जो impact होगा, that impact will be called as the austerity. So we'll just try to generate a communication about it. Okay, these are the two images which we have. Okay, which represent the concept of ornament in architecture. The left one or the right one, class?
Left one, sir.
The left one.
Left one.
Yes.
Have you understood what is the right side image?
Yes,
From
sir.
which project it is? It is from a Barcelona Pavilion project, Mies van der Rohe.
Hmm.
So you will see that the same architect which we have discussed in the previous presentation, the same philosophers and the architects will continue to come into this discussion as well, because it's a continuation which we are trying to form. So if so, what is why you have said that the left image is the which is represent the concept of ornament in architecture today?
The different types of statue, floral carving.
Okay. What else? Razik, why do you think the left image is the ornament in architecture today?
Sir, because the use of the figures that is seen in the top and the extra things like florals और जो patterns जो है
Hmm.
तो वो सब चीज की वजह से मैंने first image को बोला कि ornamentation है.
Okay. Fatima?
The first
So,
image has many layers to it. There is the facade, and then there is an add-on strip of design,
Hmm.
which has been definitely thought of for a particular reason, maybe for aesthetics.
Okay.
While in the second image is just a flat wall with tiles attached to it.
और सर first image first image is like representation of any culture or something like that, like representation of any history to it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the elements used in the first structure may represent certain timeline, may speak about what cultural identities were
Yeah.
back then practiced.
Nice. Nice.
It looks like a gargoyle on top, so it's probably because of the belief system that they have, that
Okay.
these gargoyles are guardians of, of their structure or their property or whatever
Okay.
that they might be thinking of.
Okay. Can you judge a building what that this building might be? The left image. See, what it is? It a palace? Is it a library? What type
It's
of?
it's probably
It
some
seems like
government
some
building or a
official
state building
building.
Yeah. Okay.
occupied by officials.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's showing some sort of authority
Yeah.
over
Okay.
the place it's located in.
So ornament in architecture, when we are discussing this, we are not discussing the ornamentation or the decoration per se. Okay, we are
Sir,
looking at
also many design principles can also be related to the facade, like the ornamentation, like symmetry, emphasis, and all other such
okay,
things.
nice, nice. Okay. We got few interesting keywords when we are discussing the cultural importance, emphasize symmetry, then patterns, then maybe a cultural significance, powerness, dominance. So we got few very interesting keywords related to this. Those were all related to the left side. What is about the right side image, which is the Barcelona Pavilion? What do you understand of
Pla-
that?
Simple planes.
Simple planes. Okay. What else?
Yeah, there's a definite uh, play between planes, and there's like this foreground and background happening.
Okay. So when we talk about few architectural elements, does the Barcelona Pavilion also emphasize on the architectural element, or it is something which looks very randomly organized? Is there a role of architectural element or architecture planning in case of Barcelona Pavilion?
Yes,
Of course, definitely. No? When Mies van
obviously.
der Rohe was designing it, there are few geometrical arrangements are there. The proportions are derived out of geometry. The minimalistic approach was there. So when you look at the left side image, there are lot of layers, as Zainab have said. There are facades, there are structural elements, there are these ornaments, there are openings, then there is also some non-visual element which is like overpowering or dominant. So all those elements are there already. In case of Barcelona Pavilion, is it a very subtle approach in a design where architect don't wanted to do too many things? Is it something which is a simpler approach? Because that is what is going to be the next question. How do you define the ornament? What could be the definition of ornament in architecture?
Something which is not a part of structurally, or means it isn't of that importance. Without it, even the structure would have stood. But the ornamentation adds up to certain values in a structure.
Okay.
Maybe it does not have a practical purpose in the design, but
Practical purpose. Okay. Okay. A practical purpose from, are you talking about that time, or it have become irrelevant in today's time?
it is still practiced.
No, not practice. I'm saying, is it relevant right now? Whenever you look at, let's say, the BMC building, okay, in town side, do you feel it is relevant right now? The ornament. I'm not talking about the whole architecture. I'm talking about only the ornament part of it right now.
adds on to the aesthetic value, so it's still pretty relevant.
Okay.
To some, it might seem more aesthetically beautiful or some more eye-catching. So it's still serving the purpose of aesthetics.
Okay. Okay. Suraj, what do you think? Because you were talking about not being practical. So I just try to reframe the question for you. Because being
I mean,
practical and non-practical is something which is a time-bound thing.
um, the element, the element, whatever is used, like in before the previous like picture, the monuments and the design element which were used, it was for the uh, vision. मतलब, अच्छा,
No, you raise a very important point actually, but you have not reframed it. Let's say if you can come up with better observation. Okay. So what
oh, okay.
can you compare the previous image of in a building in a Rome with in terms of austerity?
But what was the second building, sir?
The left image only. That is the building in a Rome, because that highly ornamented building. Can you relate a austerity with it? The second point which we are discussing, we were talking about ornament for a very long time right now. Let's talk about the austerity. So we are comparing not ornamentation and non-ornamentation. We are talking about ornamentation and the impact of ornamentation on architecture. Okay, so one of the impact, okay, which is generated is the austerity. For example, how is ornament similar or different from the terms like decoration, integration, application, and function? So coming back to, I think Aarti or Arshia talked about uh, the facade, okay, or that building is only an ornamented or decorated, okay. So does it have a structural value?
Sir,
Yeah,
it may be considered in heritage as it is preserved for many years, like many buildings in Mumbai.
yeah,
So the thing changes there only
Sorry.
because of the authority that you said, like before. It may be something else before, like the function of that,
yeah,
and today is something else. So it does come under heritage.
yeah. But the question is, does all this ornamentation which we are talking about, or ornament in architecture, are those structural? What happens if we look at the same left image which we showed on the second slide, and just imagine that the ornamentation is removed from that image? Will that building still stand? Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
So,
sir.
It
Yes,
can.
sir. It is.
Left image or the right one?
so in the
Oh, sorry,
previous
the
image,
left
which is
one. Left one. Sorry.
it is possible that if we remove the ornamentation, it will still be structurally stable. But we even see different structures where a woman figurine is used as a pillar, as a column. So in that type of architecture, that they are playing a role as well.
Yeah.
So it depends on what function it is. It is on what function it has been used on the building.
Yeah. So what we are talking about is this: the function, the functions. Right now, what Sadaf just talked about is the application part of it, or integration part of it. So it is decoration or the ornament, as well as it's become a structural element, right? It is not only a decorated element, but in case of a temple, or in case of a mosque, or in terms of a palaces which we have all across the India, okay, what happens is we start removing the element of ornament from it, but that particular pillar is still going to be a pillar which is going to take a load of a lintel. The function is not going to change if we start removing ornamentation. That is the whole point. So what we are looking at is, we have a buildings from the past which are ornamented, but not all the ornamentation majorly, okay, is structural. Yes, in few cases there are integration. Yes, there few cases those are applications only. In few cases it is non-functional. It is not functional at all. It is only a element which decorates the facade or participate into decoration part. Okay, so that decoration could be something where you want to have a building which talks about the spirituality, the building which talks about the let's say the palace kind of a character where you want that dominance in the detailing part of it, or it could be something which is like a Taj Mahal kind of a theme. Okay, so that is how uh, uh, things are explained or expressed by using ornament. Okay, but the question is, when you are looking at this such a highly ornamented thing, okay, so and when it is not structurally required, so what would have happened to the laborers and the cost of the project?
So can you repeat your question?
In case of this highly ornamented buildings, okay, from the past, okay, right now we don't see highly ornamented buildings. So what happens to the part where the laborers are involved or the giant cost is involved in the making of it? Let's take an example of Taj Mahal for that example. Taj Mahal or any other palace or temple or mosque which you wanted to consider as, okay, and because of so much of ornamentation is involved in it, what would have happened to the laborers or what would have happened to the cost of the, what is the impact of it?
The time span taken to construct and design all of those specific ornamentations would have been a lot. The structure would have taken a lot of time to be realized in actuality
Yeah, and
than
what about,
otherwise.
yeah, and what about the laborers?
It must have been a very labor intensive project in
So,
that period.
yeah. And what about the cost? See, we are talking about a very standard parameter of austerity right now, which is the laborers, the condition of laborers, the time taken to it, and the cost of it. Okay, so there are these three major parameters which are again connected to the policy. We are not still talking about the in-depth understanding of, let's say, what would have happened to this social structure of the society that time because of that particular one building. Okay, because you guys are not able to understand this particular austerity. So what we are looking at is right now is because of the highly ornamented structure, which was the general practice that time. I think it till 1800 it was the general practice. Okay, so because of that, what would have impacted on the society in terms of labor community, in terms of skilled labor, or in terms of money put into it to construct it? What would have happened to the duration of the project taken to construct such a large project, such a large integrated project? Look at the construction
Yep.
of China Wall for that matter. What would have you heard about China Wall class? Great Wall of China.
What,
Yes,
Everyone,
sir.
what about it?
have you heard about the stories? What would have happened to the laborers who were constructing it?
They might have fallen to their death.
Yeah, and what have happened? They have simply put them into the wall itself. Their graveyard, that wall is nothing but the graveyard of those laborers as well. That is the
That's dark.
kind of an austerity which we are talking about. Great uh, uh, Great pyramids of Giza. Imagine the torture which laborers have gone through to raise those boulders, to pull those boulders, push those boulders, and place them into a very strategic position. Because of which,
I imagine that will be done with your thesis as well.
yeah,
Why would you say that, sir?
we are pulling the thesis.
Continue. Yeah,
No,
continue.
this is also a very valid point where we don't think about different impact which our building is going to create. Not only in terms of architecture, but what would it do to the social structure of or the community which is there. People have stopped using ornamented elements in architecture. क्या हुआ है उसके वजह से? What is the impact of that? Opposite देख लेते हैं अगर वो नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो क्या हो रहा है अभी अगर हम लोग ornamentation. Do you think there is ornamentation right now in contemporary architecture? Class?
It is still there.
It is still there. Okay. Any example? Can you give us any example?
If you see even in Hiranandani, there are a lot of project done by a piece contractor which still has all of those uh, classical elements incorporated into them, even though they don't play an important role structurally, but they are used for the aesthetic value.
No, but is it something which is a contemporary architecture? He is just purely mimicking whatever is being constructed in past, right? That is what I'm saying. In 1800, people were only mimicking whatever it was been constructed before. They did not had anything which is original. After 1800, we started talking about modernism. We started talking about minimalism because of the industrial revolution. Architects used to get lot of new materials which they can talk about. The glass was introduced, the steel was introduced. What was the previous material for construction?
Stones.
Stone, wood. Those were
Mud.
Mud, yeah.
All of the earthy materials.
Yeah, so those were all natural material which we had. Okay, just imagine that using such a large natural resource materials into a construction, and those are only suitable for detailing part of it. So during the construction, it has created the huge impact on the laborers' health and the cost of the project. Okay, so when we look at this particular timeline, it's very important to look at this timeline. Okay, there was one time where everyone was doing this Greek and Gothic. Till 1800, you took out any examples of Gothic architecture, Greek architecture, anywhere in the world. Okay, let it be a Taj Mahal or something. It is always going to be highly ornamented building. Then there was one time, okay, where this third style was introduced, which was nothing but the round style arch. Okay, kind of a round style arch was introduced. Okay, you can see that in the few of the palaces where other ornamented elements were off from the facades or from the architecture, but the arch was still there. Okay, there are many examples which you can see in Form Space and Order book where the sketches were made only showcasing the round style arch. Then there was a time after, let's say, 1820 or 1823 where slowly people started raising question about what happened if we leave the ornamentation in architecture or ornament in architecture. So what could be the next style of architecture? That is the first question. First time the question was raised during the 1820s. Okay, we are going to look at those theorists also. So they were talking about the non-ornament. Non-ornament in architecture give birth to the new school of thought, which was minimalism, modernism. Okay, it is also because of the technological advancement which we had, the industrial revolution which we got. So we got new material. We can now span better in terms of construction with the lesser configurations of sizes. Okay, and now we are in an era in a contemporary ornament. Okay, so if you look at this timeline, where there was a struggle in terms of what kind of a style which we could generate next. Okay, and what we are today right now. So what could be the definition or the characteristic of contemporary ornament? We are here right now. Anybody want to just define or give the characteristic of contemporary ornament? Everyone knows this, right? The left one, Greek and Gothic. The whole class know what is Greek and Gothic architecture. Okay. The non-ornament part is where the modernism came into a picture. So it is a time period from 1820 to, let's say, the post-independence era which we have. Okay, so that is the time span for it. Then we slowly started now negotiating this contemporary ornament. So can you define what is contemporary ornament? Because you are part of that practice. You guys, we are all part of that practice right now. So what is contemporary ornament?
The parametric facades or parametric envelopes around
Okay. Good. Yeah, what else? और क्या है? सही है. That is also
brick facades or brick jali work.
okay. What else?
Might be use both the traditional and the modern techniques of constructing it, and also it does not only it may be also used as a influenced.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Nice. Anybody else? Right. Yeah, everyone is right about what they are trying to define as or characterize as the contemporary ornament. But in all these
Light show that happens on the building like Burj Khalifa, that can be also considered in ornamentation.
no, no, no. We are not talking about ornament in contemporary art. We are talking about what is contemporary ornament. Try to understand.
Okay.
I think what you all guys are saying right now, okay, if I can define it properly, okay, without portraying the material palette which you are talking about, like brick, parametric style of architecture, or maybe what Razik also said about, using the walls as the projector or something. Right now we are talking about ornamentation as a functions only, functions and applications. If it is not functional, people are not using it as a purely aesthetical element. Is it so? Why we are using brick jali, Arti? Arti?
Sir, hello. Sir, for cross ventilation.
And also for the, because it's functional, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else? अभी कोई भी ऐसा एग्जाम्पल है आपके सामने which is ornamented in any sense which you have, but also it is maybe not an application or maybe not a function. Okay, we'll see the example. It's okay. If you don't understand, it's okay. You'll come to know we have an example. Okay, so how is or is not ornament an appropriate concept in architecture? Do you think it's a very important concept right now to look at or to discuss today in architecture?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many people think yes? Just raise their hand in the Zoom. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at this particular image now. Okay, the right side image is from Jaipur. Okay, this is one of the detailing in Jaipur palaces, and the left side is the interior of the Grand Mosque in Spain. Okay, both the elements are highly detailed. Okay, so this left top paragraph is very important. Prior to the second industrial revolution of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, ornamentation was a central to architecture. The study of architecture was the study of ornament. Debates regarding ornament centered on the manner in which ornament was to be deployed. In 1828, for example, German architect Hubsch saw style as the essence of art and architecture and posed the question, in what style should we build now? Okay, so this was the first time where people started questioning what could be the next style of architecture. Okay, Also, if you look at examples of people doing highly ornament in architecture, like the examples which we had, they always study something which is of a similar manner. For example, in a Taj Mahal in the Indian context, if you look at it, before constructing the Taj Mahal, the architect have visited the small tomb which is constructed in Mandu, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so they were also doing the reference study where ornamented buildings only were there, but maybe in a different scale. The architecture planning was also being considered as a reference. Okay, and then they were mimicking it in a different scale. Okay, so what was happening? Abhi, for example, if you look at the CST station as well. For the CST station, also those all Victorian style of architecture or Indo-Saracen kind of an architecture is again could be referred to somewhere in, let's say, London. Okay, because it is some kind of a mimicking the characters of some other place and just making it suitable for the that particular place where you are constructing it. तो वो लोग हमेशा दूसरे जो भी बिल्डिंग का रेफरेंस ले रहे थे एंड उसका ही सिर्फ मिमिकिंग कर रहे थे. This is in 1820, the first time this architect talked about the is talking about what style should we build now. So that is the first question which we also have to consider for our design right now. Okay, so as a theorist, okay, he believes in 1882 each country or a region might develop its own contemporary style. Okay, when the question was raised about what could be the next style of architecture or which we should adopt to, क्योंकि अभी ये बहुत हो गया हम लोग उसको ही मिमिक कर रहे हैं, let's look at कि अभी नया क्या कर सकते हैं. So they started question, अगर नया कुछ style बनाना है so what should be the parameter of it? There has to be a parameter, otherwise it will again become very vague. Okay, so each country or a region might develop its own contemporary style. So they coined the word contemporary that time in 1882, rather than mimic the style of the past. Vernacular ornament would derive from usual building materials like stones and wood. In that time, again, that material was there. Material and construction method at that time. So whenever you are talking about the contemporary architecture, you will see that the buildings or construction and the material is being very authentic to that time. It should belong to that time. Okay, responses to regional climate, it's very important, and the human, social, and environmental needs. Okay, it is all these 4 points are still valid, and all of you are more or less doing all these 4 points in thesis in a different weightage. All of you, if you look at your thesis from all these 4 points, okay, some people have more human, social, environmental needs, usko respond kar rahe. Some people are talking about material construction method. Okay, some people are talking about regional climate. Some people are talking about materials. Okay, what could be the next material? Okay, so that is what we are still doing. ये 1882 में लिखा गया. Not a single word is been edited by me. These are the exact code word which Habish have provided. Okay, so this is what is we are talking about. Okay, then he also raised a question. Okay, where can ornament in architecture be considered as a human craft or a technological progress? Okay, so whatever we are looking at, okay, is it because it's a human craft we are still doing it? Okay, or is it something which is which khatam ho gaya because technological progress ho gaya? So that is, we again have to look at why ornamentation ornament in architecture have stopped coming into the projects. Okay, मॉडर्निज्म ने जब बर्थ लिया वो स्कूल ऑफ थॉट में why people stop doing ornament, that need to be really understand, because as a technological progress we got to know two more interesting material, which was glass and steel. The concrete again become a part of it. So we can see that now the ornamentation is not required in architecture. Okay, so as ornament in architecture, again the argument could be raised for the singularism. Okay, which I think Zainab have rightly raised in the first slide itself. Okay, कि वो पावरनेस प्रोजेक्ट करता है या डोमिनेंस प्रोजेक्ट करता है. Then waste of labors, because if we are not doing ornament in architecture, with what we are talking about is there are the projects could be constructed using the less number of laborers, so there is no wastage of laborers. Okay, and then because there is uh, practically zero ornament in architecture, then there is no wastage of material, because after 1880 or 1820s, when industrial revolutions happened, okay, people thought about materials being second. Okay, we don't have a luxury of materials are not available infinite to us. That realism had happened, and because of that, what have happened is people started preserving material, construction material as a resource. Okay, previously, when Taj Mahal was constructed or the pyramids were constructed, the argument was not there at all. Okay, the argument was about मुझे ये बनाना है, और कितना भी लोग लगे, कितना भी पैसा लगे, will do it. We have seen a number of examples in history because of all these aspirations, unnecessary aspirations. Okay, the kingdoms have just gone. Okay, washed out हो गए kingdoms because they become bankrupted. They become easily available for the wars, and then they simply go got washed away. Okay, so
Sir,
these
I
are
think the political shift made an important role. Is really important. Like when people's opinions started mattering on how the architecture of the surrounding can be or
right.
will be. So that was the point where this ornamentation thing started.
So there was time when it was a singularism. Okay, the political opinion were very singular. Romans है, then we have so many examples कि एक single thought था. उसके बाद होना क्या चाहिए? Few Britishers were there. Almost whole of the world was ruled by Britishers. Okay, then there was World War happened. Okay, because of the World War, democratic forms होने शुरू होंगे. Okay, World War I, World War II. Okay, then after that also, then there was a time period where all these countries were getting free from the Britishers time. Okay, so there were slowly there were no single thought, as Akshita have rightly said, there was also relevance and importance given to the people's opinion, because those were started mattering. पहले था नहीं. That is what we are trying to say, that कि पुराने कोई भी बिल्डिंग बना लो कि अरे हम लोग सोचते रहे इतना खर्चा कैसे किया रहेगा, कितना टाइम लगा रहेगा इसको, how many resources might have been gone into this, because there was a single thought, there was a demand for it. Okay, the kings and the ruler were demanding that I want to build this. Okay, there were their personal aspirations. Okay, there were, that was not aspiration which will benefit the whole kingdom, their own kingdom. It should not benefit, वो मुझे benefit होना चाहिए. Okay, so we can look at n number of example in history, like Jahaz Mahal, which was the palace to house so many queens and God knows. So there were, it was a leisure palace, and so it was like the uh, there was only a personal aspirations above and beyond all the in the beneficiaries of the kingdom. So that need to be understood. Okay, so there are three theories which we are talking about. It's a very small book which everyone can look at, is the Ornament and Crime. Okay, so it's a very important book. जिसमें he's talking about the evolution of culture is synonymous with the removal of ornamentation from object of everyday use. सूरज का जो first point उसने cultural point जो discuss किया था, we are coming back to that point with the reframe question. Notion of consumer and producer was introduced. So when we talk about demand and supply, consumer and producer means there will be a demand and supply. So the consumer started changing from the kings. It started shifting towards, let's say, in a World War II, it's gone to the people who were working for the industries, those giants, and then slowly towards the democratic countries. Okay, so that shift was starting happening. Hence, the producers were different. That notion was previously. That notion was not there, and the crime means a waste of labor and abuse of material. Okay, so that is again. Then there was next theorist. Okay, Vanham, who was talking about ornament and crime in the respect of a culture evolves. There is no validity for ornamentation. Okay, validity means it is only a time bound exercise. It might be relevant to that culture, let's say 200 years back, but it right now it might not be valid to the, or it might not be relevant to the today's generation, because culture evolves. Okay, the next is where this particular theories talk about ornament is no crime. Okay, he talked about decoration versus ornamentation. Okay, and that's it. So he thought of only comparison decoration and ornamentation. So if you look at all these three theories putting across their point, what they're talking about is the new shift after 1820 or 1880. What was the new shift was bound to happen. These are the two examples which I put, which are very modern. The left image is from China again, which is from a CCTV headquarters. Okay, and then the right side image is talking about the bird nest, famous bird nest constructions. Okay, for the Olympic. Okay, if you look at both the examples of these two modern contemporary examples, if you look at, okay, so what is the major issue with this? Okay, do you think so? This is ornamentation or this is austerity? Was it required to create a deck like this on the top? Class,
They're probably trying to symbolize something.
what is it? What is that?
Not really sure.
Okay. Why I'm asking question is because right now we are in the era of austerity. That means we are forcefully putting up some policies, okay, because we have a technological advancement with us right now. Okay, and we are doing the same thing which my Akbar might have done, or all those kings and all those rulers might have done. Don't you think so? We are doing that right now. If in case of these both the examples which we are, which you can see it on the screen right now, was it required to do this to the headquarters, or was that an inspiration or aspiration of an architect which want to construct it like this? मुझे ये बनाना है. Yeah, class, say yes, no, whatever.
Yes, it was.
We are only looking at these two buildings from these 2 points. Okay, ornament and austerity.
Due to technological advancement, now we can basically create more of structurally improvised structure. As you can see in the first image, that particular part was simply made as a cantilever part due to the structural advancement. Previously, it might not be possible, but due to again the advancement, this particular thing was created.
Okay. Zainab, what's your opinion? Is this austerity in architecture now? Just because we are able to construct, we are doing all these gimmicks right now.
Mm,
Is it responding to the 4 parameter which those theorists give us? Is it responding to the climate?
It must be climate responsive.
Okay.
They might have taken the programs and I mean, they must have developed some strategies through which the design, might have evolved.
Yeah. But is
You
this
can't really say it's austerity.
this is not austerity according to you?
No.
No. Okay. Because they have an infinite budget now, they can do anything, right? What might be the cost of this? What might be the cost of this bird nest which you are looking at right now? Merely it was supposed to be constructed for the Olympic which held in China. Okay, have you seen the recent image of birds there? Sorry, this bird nest. All these structures, all these stadiums, I think 7 to 9 stadiums, if I'm not wrong, they were constructed during this Olympic for the Olympic event. All those stadiums are dead right now. What do you think of this as a? Do you think this as an austerity? This is the point which we as an architect are not ready to accept, that our aspirations have become so important, or our client aspirations and dreams have become so important that most of the projects uh, are like huge budget projects, whether previously all these projects could have been possible using the same technology. Okay, could have been a something which is more relatable to that neighborhood. Just look at what is happening around in this the first image, and look at this one giant. Okay, it's very interesting. Sometimes you just Google what is the cost of CCTV project and what is the cost of bird nest. Okay, can you see these cross brace trusses which are used for the construction? These like petals. Can you see this, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Like
sir.
the structural elements were also used as branches
Yeah.
to like
If
pull
you
the
look,
entire
if
structure
you look
together.
at the competition brief shared for the bird nest, okay, these trusses were mandatory, made mandatory for competition. So architect or the designer cannot think of anything else. This was given to them. You have to use this. Don't you think so? When things are made mandatory, it's an austerity. And also when people, designers specifically, thought about their buildings having infinite budget. So if the budget cost is 6,000, it's 6,000 lakhs of dollar is the cost of the CCTV. I make sure that I will consume everything and anything. Because in the contemporary architecture, we are talking about materials not being infinite to us or available to us lifelong. We are talking about there is going to be a shortage of material, there is going to be a shortage of steel. Okay, there have been a number of examples in the last 50 years or so where we have seen there is a shortage of concrete in the practice. We have seen a shortage of steel in the construction steel ka bhi shortage hua hai. Okay, still are we are not talking about being respectful to the material, being respectful to the context. Okay, Burj Khalifa is a beautiful example where if I'm not wrong, you guys might have a better understanding knowledge of that. Okay, Burj Khalifa is millions of square foot of construction, square meter of construction. Okay, how much space is occupied right now in Burj Khalifa? You have to ask this question. Okay, that इतना इन्वेस्टमेंट डालने के बाद आज बुर्ज खलीफा का कितना स्पेस ऑक्यूपाइड है जिसके लिए वो बनाया गया. If you remember during the housing project class, we were discussing about do we need rental housing? How much housing whatever we have constructed right now is been 100% occupied. तभी तुम लोगों ने सर्वे किया था और तुम लोगों को पता चला था इतने इतने अपार्टमेंट जो है वो शट है, जो ऑलरेडी हम लोग उसको रेंटल में कन्वर्ट कर सकते. वी कैन कन्वर्ट देम इनटू रेंटल, इजंट इट? या क्लास? Class, you are there.
Yes, sir.
Sleeping.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is very important point because most of you will not think of a budget while constructing or realizing your project, because इतना बजट है तो वो 100% कंज्यूम करना है वैसे नहीं है. Okay, so that is one case, and then this is just because it is technologically possible, okay, or challenging, I will construct it. That should not also be the case. Right now, if you start looking at few projects from that background, okay, then it might just help you. So these two exercises remains the same. आप आपका खुद का जो अभी तक का प्रोजेक्ट है, लेट इट बी हाउसिंग म्यूजियम और एनी अदर प्रोजेक्ट वी हैव डन इन पास्ट और योर ऑफिस प्रोजेक्ट, think of it from this point of view. Okay, now if we talking about the what is the contemporary ornament which we raised it previously. Okay, so can you see these two projects on your screen? What is the left project? Have you seen the left project? Class? Class, have you seen the left side project? This one?
No, sir.
We have seen the right one, but not the left one.
Yeah, it's designed by Abhin Chaudhary. Okay, the this particular project, along with this, there are 3-4 similar architect have developed a similar projects in the neighborhood. Okay, 4-5 similar projects like this. Okay, can you identify the typology of this building? Left one.
It's yeah.
What might be the purpose of the left side image?
Religious structure.
No. What else?
Some sort of gathering place for women.
Okay. Next.
Maybe.
What else? Interesting. Chalo.
Some community center.
Okay.
Someone's home.
No. This is a simple brief. I'll tell you how, once you got a brief, how blindly we all start designing for it. Abhin Chaudhary got a brief where this is a simple warehouse and warehouse with the staff quarters. Okay. When Abhin Chaudhary got this brief from the client, what he did is he studied the neighborhood and he identified there is a lack of community gathering space in the nearby area. So whatever warehouses, unloading, loading, and the staff quarter happens, that happens exactly at the backside of this structure. He elevated it. The, I think the 50% of the
So your voice is
is
breaking a lot. There's a lot of background noise or whatever that is.
somebody
There's
is
something happening. You're not clear.
just a minute. Somebody is not mute. Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So more than the 50% of the raised area is being converted into a community space. Okay. So right now, whatever detailing you can see it here. Okay, this detailing majorly you are only looking at the bricks, right? Everywhere you are looking at the bricks. Can you see these smaller gaps here, which are ornamented? These are nothing but your paver blocks. If you look at this project on Arch Daily, okay, this particular project talks about the materials which are used, which are from the neighborhood only. So the brick and the paver blocks are available around it. So he constructed the building and used the elements as a ornament, okay, which are nothing but the paver blocks. And the whole building is been constructed using the community building exercise. So the detailing and everything is been done so that it could be easily be constructed by a community directly. Okay, so that is how you can just go beyond the the design brief which will client provides for you. What is the right side image? You might have
It's a
seen this. No? This is a temple.
Hmm.
Okay, it's a temple designed by Samit Arora Architects. A complex of a temple. Okay, it still looks like a complex, right? So this particular raised plinth is where all these community activities happen. Then there is main shikhara, and then there is another shikhara which is in front of it. Okay, so what this do is what kind of a reference it draw from. ये reference कहाँ से है? आपने देखा है ना इसको भी? This temple is he is calling it as the temple of steps. Okay, ये कहाँ से है reference आपको पता है? Why there is a water here? Why not this all paddy field only here? What is the importance of having water present here?
Since water is considered to be a pure element.
No, what he got is okay. That's why you guys should start
His
reading.
legend.
No, the reference of this temple of step is from the Ghat of Varanasi. So these steps
Oh.
represent those ghats, and घाट सिर्फ घाट नहीं रहते ना, आगे क्या रहता है? घाट merges with what?
Pani.
Exactly. So these are all those references is talking about, and by doing so, okay, the architectural element of temple, okay, are not gone. Shikara is still Shikara, right?
Yes.
Okay, but the ornamentation is totally removed from it. Now all these steps are functional. People can still climb on it whenever there are community activity. These all step areas is going to be used as an amphi.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is how the contemporary idea of a facade. Now this is nothing but a facade. Steps area is nothing but a facade only. It adds value into the aesthetic, right? So all these facades are all functional. They are not purely used as the ornamentation. Okay, so you have to look at example, and then you start looking at your own design building. Am I'm only designing a glass facade because it is aesthetically required, or is it I'm doing मैं सिर्फ glass facade इसके लिए करता हूँ क्योंकि easy है करना, या इसके लिए करता हूँ क्योंकि वो मेरे को टेक्नोलॉजिकली पॉसिबल है अभी करना. But do I respond to the contextualism? Do I respond to the अगर वो BKC में तो glass facade होनी चाहिए. When we will start raising those questions where why there are glass facades in the BKC itself. And agar glass facade nahi, then what should be there? What should be that style of architecture which should be there in BKC? And I think we are all going to raise all these questions in your strategy making and in the workshop, where why all these whenever you are putting up new strategies, what is its relevance in that area? Don't you think so? This approach of minimalism, or in Abhin Chaudhary's case, left side image, the minimalistic approach to the ornamentation, which is these all things are nothing but self-shading device. This is a jali, okay, which have been used to ventilate the upper floors, staying facility for the staff. Okay, so that is, look at how beautifully they have done it. Okay, so that all the ornamentation, other ornamentation bhi hai, brick facade bhi hai, glass bhi, it is all have become the functional element right now. Okay, the detailing or the ornamentation in architecture right now has to be a function or an application, or of course the integration. Okay, so that is what happens. Okay, so what will be the role of ornament in architecture in near future? Will it be a purely a symbolism or a depiction, or it will be a functionalism? आपको क्या लगता है? आप किसको adopt करोगे? Will it be only a symbolism, like it only depicts something? There is no purpose to it actually other than the symbolism. क्या लगता है आपने अभी
It
तक
also
क्या?
be functional.
It should be functional, right?
So that the users can interact with the structure itself if we make it functional.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah. And why functional? Otherwise, it will be non-relevant. Non-relevant. Abhi, there are people who still prefer architecture style like a Gothic on it, but those number of people are less, right? the majorly people are talking about something which is today's time. मुझे आज के time में suitable house चाहिए. Just imagine that आप अगर 1880 में practice कर रहे हो, तो आप just सोचो कि जब सब पूरी दुनिया गॉथिक और ये सारे स्टाइल्स कर रही थी, और सडनली जब फर्स्ट टाइम कोई आर्किटेक्ट ने मिनिमलिस्टिक बिल्डिंग लाया रहेगा जिसमें स्टील और ग्लास रहे, डू यू थिंक पीपल वुड हैव एक्सेप्टेड इट दैट टाइम? आपको लगता है वो एक्सेप्ट हुआ रहेगा 1800 में ग्लास और स्टील का बिल्डिंग, सडनली जब फर्स्ट बिल्डिंग आया रहेगा?
They must have seen it as an abomination of some sort.
Yeah, so people might not have accepted it because they are not used to seeing this new thing. Okay, so इसी तरीके से आपका थीसिस भी यही फंडामेंटल क्वेश्चंस को या थ्योरीज को सपोर्ट या अपोज करने वाला होना चाहिए कि whenever I am constructing a building, अभी अगर हम लोग इमीडिएट कॉन्टेक्स्ट देखेंगे तो इसमें ये जो लेफ्ट वाली इमेज है might not rightly fit in directly. आजू बाजू में देखो घर कैसे, और for example the right side image also, look at the right side image. But this become more relevant when we start looking at or understand this as a style, as a theory, as an approach to design, which is not just the not just merely the aesthetical thing, but it is something which is functional. So contemporary style has become importantly a functional style of architecture. It has to be a functional. Everything and anything you do has to be functional. So if the whole facade is a door, okay, it has to be a functional. It cannot be just an opening or something of that sort. So you need to simplify, decode all these theories and styles a little bit so that you can understand what need to be adopted in your design, in case of your design. So that's become more practical to you. Samjha? Class, are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is how we are again looking at a number of examples. Okay, I would again request you guys to look at your project for this particular thing. Are you talking about austerity? Are you talking about ornamented, simplicity, complexity? Because that is what is need to be understand. Okay, कि अगर हम लोग highly contextual site में project कर रहे हैं, but it is going to be a large infrastructure project. So what should be the approach to it? Okay, in case of Fatima, where she is doing it in a maybe a terrace kind of a topography in Assam. Okay, tea plantation wala, but she is practically designing something which is going to be a large building mass as a museum. So how what should be her approach in design? वो कैसे होगा कि doesn't look like a very large keyboard volumes kept on the side? So how she can disintegrate, how she can defragment it, or her approach is making it bold. Look at me, kind of a gaudy kind of a building. Okay, so all those questioning has to happen initially before you start actually constructing the master plans or something. The questioning to the concept itself need to start happening. Okay, anything else you guys want to discuss?
So it has to be a project that we have worked on earlier, right?
It could be something which you are looking at online. That's not a problem. Could be somebody else's project also. But just spend 10 minutes on it. I'm not asking you to invest more than 10 minutes on it. Figured out any project, specifically your project, because it will take you through your journey. If you take somebody else's project, it will not help you to understand more because it is somebody else's journey. आपने वो प्रोजेक्ट कंसीव करने को 4 महीना लिया है, 3 महीना लिया है, या 1 हफ्ता लिया है, it's still your journey. Okay, so it will question you rather than somebody, and that questioning will help you to understand what to do next for you, which is more relevant, which is more pure, which is more authentic. Okay, so that should happen. That should happen. Simplicity, complexity, also austerity, then ornamentation. We have discussed 4 points right now. Okay, in the workshop, it's going to be very important as a theory. Okay, because one of the speaker, Kamlesh sir, is going to talk about the theory. Okay, so we have 3 people who are talking about 3 different scales. One is talking about urban design scale, one is talking about theory and built in architecture, and one person is going to talk about the uh, natural and constructed. Okay, so we have these diversity in the discussion, but for that you also have to be well read. ये ऐसे नहीं कि हम लोग आपको वैसे ही छोड़ देंगे. Those presentations will be only understood and absorbed unless and until you guys understand them thoroughly, how to use them, what is the application of all those things. Otherwise कुछ नहीं होगा. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Okay, but the workshop will be only for the people who will become eligible. Otherwise, the rest of the people will discuss with their guide, and then they will be only be presenting their work to the jury as a crit on Tuesday. Okay, next to next Tuesday. Okay, that is going to be online. So we are only requesting you to come to the college if you are eligible. वो list हम लोग कल लगाएंगे. If you are eligible, come to the college on 17 or 18. Okay, so that is how we are going to do. Anything else you want to put across, Kamlesh, Siddesh, if you guys are there?
So do we have to distinguish or describe on the basis of the elevation and views, or it could be in terms of planning as well?
It could be about anything.
can-
It could be a small element as small as door. It could be anything.
Okay.
It's not the holistic project which we are talking about. It's about your school of thought. What is important? If it is a facade you want to talk about, it could be that. If you want to talk about planning, you can talk about that. If it's about the process you want to talk about, it could be that. It
Okay,
could
the thought process.
just the thought process. Eventually everything is going to connect to the thought process.
It will lead us towards the main concept. Okay.
We can talk about where your project is building, what should have been the approach when constructing there, what rather than what you have already achieved through your design. It could be there are n number of ways to tackle it, and as I said, in architecture there is nothing right and wrong. Okay, so everything is debatable, hence everything is debatable. Okay, so whenever if you are looking at somebody else project, try to see how you can make it better, make it more right. Okay, just don't criticize it, talk about how you can correct it. Okay, talk about what have went wrong. Okay, many times what have happened is project हुआ है तभी वो बहुत अच्छा लगा है, maybe after 5 years the project have failed drastically. The good example is the same bird nest which we just saw it today. Just google the images. People have started constructing slums into the stadium, right? So such a large infrastructure, and the similar development have happened in India as well. What have happened to the Commonwealth Games village in India? It have become just a big scam. अभी वो पूरे के पूरे villages have become खंडर. So the point which we raised in the first discussion, permanence and non-permanence in architecture, is very valid in today's time. You know, everyone want to become an star architect कि मेरा building 40 साल रहेगा, 60 साल रहेगा. But right now we have such a variety in the project, like your project might just be valid for next 5 years. But what happens after that? I think we have seen BB Doshi sir's one of the project, museum project, okay, in somewhere in Kutch, where the whole building will merge back to the nature. So the material palette and the construction selected, it's something which is very, very natural. So there is where we are discussing natural and constructed. The design is constructed, but eventually it's going to become a nature. So what is the process of doing that? What will be the evolution? So give a thought to it. Again, as we have said in the first lecture also, we are not here to teach you any theory. We are here only to provide you with few synthesis which you can then debate and discuss. ठीक है? So for tomorrow, I think you have to have a submission, then we'll review it. Okay, and then we'll put up a list for the workshop. Okay. ठीक है, चलेगा.